Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mana Cave. My name is Ed.
My name's Travis.
And today, it's finally happening. It is the championship match of the Challenger Deck Showdown. We've got Hazoret Aggro, and you're wearing a YOLO shirt.
I'm YOLOing it.
And
better for worse.
I am playing one of the decks that I swear was built for me, specifically for me, Second Sun Control. I enjoy this deck so much. And I know a lot of people don't like playing against it. So
once again, this may not be my finest hour on camera. Especially considering we just shot another game, and in that game I made a lot of questionable plays. So my mind isn't where it needs to be today.
Yeah, because we typically record 2 matches or 2 games depending on if we're playing Magic for both games. We usually try to record 2 videos, we'll put it that way, a night when Travis comes over to the studio to record. So we already recorded we just recorded for us, you guys will have seen it like a week ago, the loser bracket, the finals of the loser bracket. But this one is going to be interesting because, I mean, it's heavy aggro versus control. This is going to be a fun matchup.
Red versus
it's going to be
blue.
a fun matchup, or just the quickest loss I've ever suffered. So yeah, I guess without any sort of further ado, we can get into it. We can roll to see who goes first. We've already determined our open hands. I had a mulligan once, so I'm going to scry.
I kept all, and you're going to see my hand in a minute. It's a funny hand.
I'm going to roll blue-white because that's what the deck colors are. 9.
It's 12.
12! Oh my goodness. Even come out aggro when it comes to the die rolls. So I'm going to go second. So if you want to show your hand first, and then I just got to remember to scribe before you play anything.
So there is my... Hang on a second here. Opening hand. Hang on. I'm just fumbling my cards here.
It's okay.
Because I didn't completely drop them. There it is. There's my opening hand. It'll be funny either way. Like, that's all the information Ed gets.
Okay.
You have to earn that control.
Okay. As I said, I did mulligan, but I'm not... It's not the worst opening hand I could get when it comes to this deck. So yeah, so there's that, and we'll see how this works out for me. And I do get to scry, so once again, I will scry right now before we start. Oh, yeah, I have to actually put that on the bottom. So there we go. And now you won the die roll, so you do get to go first.
Mountain, tap.
I knew it. I knew it.
No, it's not Beaumont Courier.
Oh.
It is a Soul Scar Mage. I would have loved a Beaumont Courier.
Yeah.
He's a 1/2 with prowess, human wizard. If a source I control would deal non-combat damage to a creature and opponent controls, put that in -1/-1 counters on instead. Not going to be great, but I couldn't exactly sideboard it out. But there's a 1/2 with prowess without haste.
This deck, before sideboarding, has 1 creature, and it's a god, right? It's the god, so...
Yeah.
Though actually is good to have it out, because then it's indestructible, so that -1/-1 counters will actually kill it. Okay.
So over to you.
Doesn't have haste though, right?
No haste. That's prowess. Okay. Which we'll look into prowess in about 2 minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna start off surprise with an island, and then I'm gonna pass the turn to you.
Okay. I'm gonna untap. Draw. Okay. So playing a mountain.
Okay.
Tapping for 2.
Okay.
To cast Lightning Strike.
Okay.
On you.
On me. All right, so I'm down to 17, and prowess triggers, correct?
So comes a 2/2 or 2/3.
2/3.
And I swing.
So I'm down to 15.
And then that's over to you, sir.
That's the turn. Okay, so
this is how it goes. Even this feels too fast for me. Not really complaining, but just saying.
I'm going to play an Ipnu Rivulet. You can tap it for colorless, or I can pay 1 life, tap it for blue, or I can pay 1 and a blue, sacrifice a desert. Target player puts the top 4 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Excuse me. And I'm going to pass the turn now to you, because that's pretty much what I do. Most of the action is going to take place on Travis's turn during this matchup.
Okay. Tap 1 for another Soul Scar Mage.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Tap 1 for a shock. Less fine.
I'm going to shock to me, right?
Shock to you.
I'll take the 2. Okay.
So trigger.
Trigger.
Again, no haste, but I will attack once again for 2.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap 2, and I'm going to cast Aether Meltdown. It's got flash, enchant creature or vehicle. When Aether Meltdown enters the battlefield, I get 2 energy. And enchanted permanent gets -4/-0. So that's going to go into that. So I don't take anything.
Okay.
My stomach is rumbling. That actually got picked up on video once. I think I took it out, but my stomach, when it gets later in the evening and I haven't eaten, it starts to rumble like you wouldn't believe. Sorry.
Pass back to you.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to play a Plains. Then I'm going to pass back to you, because that's all this deck does, is it passes back. Mountain.
Okay. Tap 1. Shock.
Okay, so I'm going to take 2. So I'm down to 11.
Prowess triggers. Tap 2. Lightning Strike.
Okay, this time I'm going to tap for 2, and I'm going to cast Censor. Counter target spell unless its controller plays 1.
Okay.
That doesn't matter as far as the prowess goes, because you did cast it.
So you don't take the 3, but you'll hopefully take the 3.
But I'll definitely take the 3.
Damage, yeah.
So I'm down to 8 now. Whew.
Pass back to you.
Pass back to me. Draw.
But literally, this deck is about to run out of gas in a big way. I almost think this deck really needs a Beaumont Courier to have that backup plan.
I'm going to play a Plains. Pass back to you.
Okay. Tapping 2 for Lightning Strike.
Okay, so that'd be 3. That would go up to 2. Okay, I'm going to take the Lightning Strike damage. So I'm down to 5.
So both triggers swing again for 2.
Swing again for 2. So that puts me down to 3.
And pass back to you.
Okay, on your end step, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to tap for... Sorry, I'm going to tap for 3. I'm going to cast Supreme Will. This is where my decision was, whether to cast this on the Lightning Strike. But instead, I'm going to look at the top 4 cards in my library, put one of them into my hand, and the rest in the bottom of my library in any order.
See, what I need is from not to hit Fumigate. I mean, not to have any life gain and not kill the creature that's currently just swinging away.
Okay, so I'm going to put this one into my hand, and I'm going to put the rest on the bottom of my... In any order? Yeah, in any order, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. And I'm going to drop a card on the floor, and then it's my turn?
Yeah.
Supreme Will goes to the graveyard.
Well, you're asking yourself, because I already gave you this.
And then I'm going to draw. I'm going to turn these cards right side up so I can read them. I'm going to play an island. Tap 3, including 2 blue. Fumigate. I mean, I'm still not super good, but I meant a Fumigate, for those of you who don't know, and I should read this wrong.
We're just going so crazy.
Is destroy all creatures. You gain 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. By the way, these are the 2 decks that Travis and I, off camera, have played more than any of the other Challenger decks. So we've pretty much gotten used to these decks, so I apologize. They'll be on the screen, but we may fall into the habit of when we're playing off camera and not say. So I'm going to go up to 5 health. I am tapped out, though, and I'm going to pass turn to you.
Untap.
Okay.
I'm going to play a mountain.
Okay.
Tap 4 to cast Hazoret the Fervent.
Oh, okay, good.
Indestructible haste.
Okay. Oh, no, it's indestructible in haste? And you got 0 cards in hand, so it immediately becomes a creature.
Well, you only need 1 card.
Okay.
One or... Oh, I should probably read this again.
Yeah.
I just got so... Because I need a top deck of lands. So Hazoret the Fervent, 5/4 legendary creature god, indestructible haste. He can't attack or block unless I have 1 or fewer cards in hand. But here's the good thing about it, too, is I can tap 2 of anything and red, discard a card, and he deals 2 damage to each opponent. So even if I'm drawing stuff that's not great for me, that's a little bit harder to... counter that ability kind of thing. So, in every single time I play this deck, I've never seen Hazoret come out. And I'm like, haste. And you're tapped out. I was just so happy when I top decked that.
My biggest regret is not Supreme Willing the Lightning Strike. I flew too close to the sun, pun intended, and I knew I was going to gain a little bit back from Fumigate. I already had Fumigate in hand, but I was not expecting that. So
let's just look at that graveyard. Lightning Strike, shock, lightning strike, 2 soul scar mages.
I mean, that's what that does, right? So.
Yeah, that's why it just pumps the deck full of So I need to think about if I want to keep Soulscar Mage, though.
Yeah, because this is one of the things. We are going to dig into our sideboards and see if there's anything we want to sideboard in. So we will be back with the second game of this matchup after this edit. Alrighty, folks, we are back with the second game of this match, Hazoret Aggro versus Second Sun Control. I've lost the first game, and I had a mulligan down to 5, so I'm going to get to scry and go first. You're at your original 7?
7, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show my hand first. And then Travis is going to show his, and then I will scry, and then we will kick this sucker off. So this is what I ended up having to settle for, which is not the worst. But, obviously I would like to have 7 cards. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We will see how this goes. Travis?
Well, that there is what I kept. It has both land and spells. Waving it around for everybody.
That's always a good combination.
All right.
Okay, so my turn?
Your turn. Scry.
So I'm going to scry. I'm going to leave that on top. I'm then going to play an irrigated farmland. Enters tapped, and I can tap it for either white or blue. And it's also got cycling too. Pass the turn to you.
We'll draw for the turn. Play a mountain. Tap mountain. Beaumont Courier. 1/1 haste.
Yeah.
Quick combat.
Mm-hmm.
Swing.
19.
Get the trigger. Pass the turn. It's like it's point form magic. And I don't mean to say I don't like this deck, but it becomes point form magic.
I'm going to play an island, and then I'm going to pass the turn to you.
Point form magic and frustration. Okay, go to combat.
Go to combat. 18.
Trigger on the card again.
Okay.
And tapping 2 for the Harsh Mentor. The ultimate hate bear.
I'm going to, in response, not that it's going to do anything to you, I'm going to tap 1, I'm going to cast Opt. Instant, scry 1, draw a card. You can draw it off, or you can draw it. I'm going to probably draw one. So I'm going to scry. I'm going to put that on top, and then I'm going to draw. Okay, so now...
That wasn't censor?
That wasn't censor. And so now it's my turn?
Yeah, pass you.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to play a Plains. Pass turn to you.
Untap. Draw. Play a mountain. Go to combat.
Go to combat.
Okay. Swingy. Get the trigger.
So I'll be taking 3.
3 damage.
Okay, I'm going to take 3.
Now, I could just pitch this
Down
right
to 15.
Right in the garbage, but I'll try casting anyway. PNLR, legendary creature, human artificer. I'm going to read her while Ed figures out what counterspell he wants to use.
No, that's
She's a 2/2.
you know what?
She owns a battlefield. I got a Thopter.
Okay. I got cocky last time, letting too many things get on the get out there. So I was gonna hold on to Supreme Will for its second. I always want to hold this on for the look at 4, but I'm gonna do that. So Supreme Will. The part I didn't use before was counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. Okay. Yeah, I had to do it. I was gonna let that go, and then I instantly had flashbacks to you getting a 5/5 god that could swing in immediately, and
That was awesome.
yeah. Well, for one of us, it was awesome.
I had a top hit to land for that too.
I'm gonna pass the turn to you.
Untap. Draw.
Have you run out of cards yet in your hand? No, you still got a Mittenful.
Mittenful. Play land. Tap 1 for the Fanatical Firebrand.
Okay.
Okay. Tap 1, 2, 3 for the one you are going to counter. On Crop Crasher.
No, I'm not going to counter that.
Ugh, just going to do that Aether Meltdown thing. Go to combat.
Go to combat. Tap 2. I'm going to Aether Meltdown that. I'm still taking 4. So I'm down to 11.
And pass 2.
I'm going to play a Field of Ruin, which I can tap for colorless, and I can pay 2, tap it, sacrifice Field of Ruin, destroy target non-basic land and opponent controls. Each player searches his or her library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle his or her library. Pass the turn to you. And this only affects opponents, right?
Yeah, whenever an opponent activates
Ugh.
Okay. Play another mountain.
Okay, dokie.
Okay, go to combat.
Go to combat.
Well, I guess no point in attacking him at this point.
Okay, I'm going to try to stem the bleeding just a little bit. I'm going to Aether Meltdown your Harsh Mentor.
Okay.
I don't know if that was a waste or not, but I'm going to still take 2, so I'm down to 9.
Okay. Play a mountain. Tap 3. PNLR.
Ugh, okay. Well, you now have nothing left in your hand, right?
Nothing left in my hand.
Okay, so she comes in and she's going to get a
Thopter
token,
which I'm going to slow play the Thopter talking because I put a Thopter in this box.
I mean, you still have the Courier, which basically can restock your entire hand.
Yeah, and I don't have to discard anything, so that's awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Overdue, sir.
Okay.
It's okay, because you have a lot of creatures, though. You're going to gain a lot of life when you fumigate this turn.
I don't have the land for Fumigate. I'm going to pass the turn to you.
Really?
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Feels bad, man.
Go to combat.
We will go to combat.
Trigger off that. Attacking with that. Attacking with those two. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My other dudes are melted down into scrap.
Her ability is pay 1 and 1 red, and it gives +1/+0, right?
Yeah. So I can pump these two up.
Yeah.
Not that you're going to block one or the other, but I can pump them. Pump them.
Okay. Well, I've got no response.
Okay. So I'm going to pump once, pump twice.
And on which one?
Have I played a land this turn?
No,
because I top deck a card.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm going to him twice, him once.
Him twice, him once. Okay.
No, wait. Once the piece. Because I should have played that land before combat. So him once, him once.
Okay.
I'm tapping like that. So
We still have 2 more to do it if you want.
yeah, but then I tap out and I can't do his if you do that 4 mana exile all attacking creatures.
Oh, Settle the Wreckage.
Yes, that you're about to play right now.
So right now I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yes.
I'm going to pay 2. And Aether Meltdown that. Desperation?
Yes, it's desperation. Desperation, or is it my artifact melting, or is it desperation?
I think this is gonna be a very quick game. So,
you know what I have in my hand out.
Oh man, I'm so upset. This is not going anywhere near as well as I had hoped it would. So I'm taking still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm down to 4. So I'm pretty much dead next turn. Okay.
So what I'm gonna do?
Okay.
I'm going to tap that. You're mostly tapped out and you haven't gained any life yet. If I get 2 shocks in there, I have a decent chance of...
Yeah.
So, or I can keep a creature around who's been doing a lot of work for me.
Yeah.
But I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to pay that, sacrifice that to draw these cards.
Sure.
So, do I exile this? Sacrifice Bowmonker. So he's just in the graveyard. I draw this.
Okay. Yeah.
If I have said spells, I'm choosing not to use them at this point.
Okay.
But what I can do is pass a turn to you.
Okay. I need something pretty amazing here.
That
Planes. I'm going to pass a turn to you.
He still does untap.
Oh, I'm so upset now. Oh.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're still pretty good. You got the mana to cast that thing. So I need to do 4 damage to you. And I've sacrificed my only guy who could pump who wasn't thing. So it would cost me how many to get past this thing? Too many. So what do I want to do here? All or nothing, all or nothing. 1, 2. It's not really all or nothing, it's 2. Oh, she doesn't even have haste, so there's no point in really doing that. But Akari Zev, Skystep Raider, legendary creature, human pirate, She's countered instantly. Should I read her?
No, she isn't countered.
First strike menace. When she enters the battlefield, when she attacks, I get a 2/1 red monkey creature token named Aggro.
You haven't played any burn.
No.
This entire game.
No.
The first game was nothing but burn.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing but burn.
I will go to combat.
Okay.
For 2.
Just for 2.
So here's the thing. I'm going to assume you have a way to destroy all. This way I can destroy him by sacrificing him before and do it.
Because he needs to tap in order to do that, right?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take 2, and I'm down to 2.
Everybody else is Aether Meltdown. She has Summoning Sickness. I already played a land. Yeah, I will pass to you.
Okay.
But next turn, if you don't have it, I can attack for lethal.
I'm going to play an island. I'm going to pass it back to you. Oh.
So Sun-Scorched Desert's going to bing you for 1.
Yeah.
Just sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Glorybringer. Glorybringer is a 4/4 flying with haste.
Yeah.
And then swing away.
I was so happy with what I kept initially because, like, keep in mind, how many burn spells did you cast that first game?
You can go back and read them from the negate.
And I'm just like, every single time you're about to cast them, I'm like, okay, here comes the burn. And then it's like creature. I'm like,
not a single burn spell was cast.
So all I was able to cast was Opt and Supreme Will, and then everything else was land.
Wow. And I gotta play Glorybringer.
Cast Out was the next one. Farm even would have been okay. Glimmer, but no. You needed Fumigate. I needed Fumigate.
For that attacking. Because no matter what. And I was holding back a few turns, trying to keep a card or 2 in hand for after a Fumigate. It was like 7 cards down.
All my Fumigates were in like the bottom third of my deck.
Wow, so God does hate blue.
Oh.
Speaking of which, we can get these nasty blue cards off of my awesome 1/1 Thopter.
That is so... Because if I had Fumigate, the game would have changed instantly.
Oh, yeah. Because didn't have much to interact. Didn't have much to interact with Fumigate.
Here's the thing. And now keep in mind, there's no guarantee that I would draw into the land for it. The first hand I pitched had a Fumigate. But the only land was 2 islands. Oh. So it's tough. It's very, very tough.
Those Aether Meltdowns are really good.
And the thing is, Negate is one of the cards that I sideboarded in.
Yeah.
Because I suffered from so much burn, right?
This thing's in unstoppable. It is unstoppable. It is so unstoppable. It doesn't need proper grammar.
It's just
That's how unstoppable it is.
Because we've played this deck against that deck.
Yeah. And
then I've off camera. And it's had a better showing. But even then, Hazoret Aggro, typically from the matchups we've done, ends up being on top. I think it definitely deserves to win the Challenger Deck Showdown. Like I said, I just wish this had gone to like one more game. But
I think really the key is a good turn 1 creature. I mean, the first one didn't have haste.
Yeah, that's the thing though. And like in the last one, it's because even like I said, the one mistake I think it made in the first game was not that last Lightning Strike, not using Supreme Will on it. But even then, your very next play would have been Hazoret. So I go to save myself 3 damage, and then you still would have done 5. Now it would have meant that you would have got me down to 3, but it's still it still would have been extremely and indestructible.
Yeah,
Cast Out is the only thing that would be helpful at that point. So it's tough, right? Like this deck I've sort of learned how to play over time. But it's just, unless you have the right cards, I think in the future, especially if I know I'm playing game against, Hazoret Aggro, I think I have to keep an opening hand that has Fumigate in it.
Yeah.
Even if it's a matter of still having to draw into it with several land, there's enough scry, there's enough draw where that's a possibility.
Well, the games that I've just been so frustrated and have gone to hell with that deck are ones where you're able to always keep filtering. Remove 1 or 2 decent-sized threats, keep filtering. Yeah. And before you know it, you've controlled as the deck can suggest, and you have control of the game.
Yeah, and that's...
So this one, a bunch of different little threats.
Yeah.
And early, very handy.
The second game had a different feel for me as the
there's
opponent.
Not a single burn spell.
Yeah, because I knew it was bad. The first game, I was sort of surprised by Hazoret, but even then, I'm used to playing this deck and not worrying about my health total as much. Like, I know that it's a resource that I can actually spend quite a bit of. I probably got a little too spendy with my life total in the first game. But yeah, it's one of those ones where I can just sort of sit back and not have to worry about it, and then burst up to more life, because there's a bunch of life game in this as well.
That's
too.
the other danger too about going wide, is Fumigate ups the ante with the life gain based off of creature destroy.
And one of the things that you mentioned as well too, which I'm actually kind of wondering now if it would have made the difference, is that we were talking about possibly sideboarding in the Regal Caracal, which is a 5 cost, but it's a creature that hits the board as a 3/3, and then you immediately get 2 1/1 white cat creatures. Cat creatures get +1/+1 and have lifelink. Other cat creatures, sorry. So, I mean, that might have been...
He also has lifelink though, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't. Other cat creatures, yeah.
But the cat creatures are instantly buffed to 2/2s.
2/2s
with
lifelink. Right. So, I mean, that might have been a strategy as well, too. I honestly thought if the first deck hadn't been so burn intensive, I never would have put in those negates. But yeah, so if you guys have played the Challenger decks, just let us know which ones you guys prefer. I think it has a lot to do with playstyle, because as I mentioned before, I think Hazoret Aggro is the strongest. I think it's sort of somewhat proven itself that way. But Second Sun Control, I love this deck. Yeah. I love this deck a lot. I haven't wanted to tinker with like a standard deck for a long time, but this is one where if I were to put money into it, it would be Torrential Gearhulks. Yeah. For sure. Even though they're going to rotate out in a few months. But
yeah, it's coming quick actually.
Yeah, it's coming up soon. So, but yeah, this is definitely something that I enjoy. I've always liked, I've always liked white-blue controls. So,
and this deck, I like that there aren't many options. You just kind of go.
Yeah.
But at one point in the game, I ran into some options, and feel free to comment. I mean, I'm not actually, this is my channel, but I do look at his comments all the time. So I do read the comments, and I'm wondering. Later in the game, would you have held back some creatures? Because I was keeping some creatures in my hand because I know there's board webs coming. So I'm like, but not to be that either. You smell like desperation towards the end there when you Ether Meltdown did my Thopter.
Yeah, I would have had to be playing you as far as my reactions go.
Yeah.
And I think we know each other well enough when we know when one of us is sort of playing the other one. So no, you definitely smelled desperation. It was there. It was also just the frustration of having 2 counterspells in hand and having nothing to use them on for almost the entire game.
That would do it.
Every single time you turned to land sideways, I was like, oh, finally I can cast this. And then it was another creature and another creature.
Yeah. But I was wary. And that's the thing about that deck too. It does play mind game through. You're wary to cast something will probably go right to the bin. So you start doing the lesser spells first sometimes if you're doing more than one.
Yeah.
And you start worrying about, do I play this creature or do I wait for him to tap out, Fumigate, and then I can play Glorybringer next and then get some of that life back and have creature.
Because here's the thing as well too. Like I was such a low life total to begin with, but even if you had done what you did and brought everything out there and turned everything sideways, and I settled the wreckage, which would have been the worst case scenario.
Then I got
because that's instant speed
in my hand. Instant speed, 4 mana.
I would have had just 1 mana left up, and you still would have had cards in hand. You still had a few cards in hand, and you could have easily just burned me away at that point. And then I'd be kicking myself. I'd have 2 negates, and But so no, I don't think so. You knew how it was, how the read was, and if anything, in the comment section before, people have commented that sometimes you hold back when you should be attacking, which rarely seems the case with you. I think it's only been a couple games, but during those games, that's one of the things that have been brought up. And it's because you're expecting that. But this time you did the proper read on me, and you just knew that wasn't going to happen. So
I had enough other things. It was slower, but I worry about slow now because the deck's not meant to go slow. The slower I go, the more Fumigate. And Fumigate, again, it hurts you twice, especially with 5 creatures on the board. Not only has your burn range gone out of burn range, you've lost your other backup plan of just attacking with creatures.
It's I'm not glad that I lost, but it showed how that your deck can run in 2 completely different ways. It can run burn heavy, and it can also just run with just aggro of creatures. So I think it really showcased the deck. Didn't showcase Second Sun Control, but I think Second Sun had its day in the sun in the first match that it was during this challenge. So and before we go, and I mention this every single video, so I apologize, but it's self-promotion and all that. I've got a token of the month club. Every single month, you can sign up to get between 1 to 10 tokens. They are custom made for Brain Pulp TV, so you won't get them anywhere other than through Brain Pulp. It's done through Patreon. There will be a video that I'm going to be linking that will show you, talk more about it, more into the specifics of it. Anyways, that's it for the little spiel there. So anything else before we close out?
No, I'm literally done.
You're done? Your voice is done? Okay. Well, thank you.
Gave her all I had, Captain.
Well, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this series. I'm not sure what the next Mana Cave is going to be. We're thinking of doing Brawl decks, so that's a possibility that is coming up.
If the format's still alive like that.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes these formats die out super quick.
But this one won't because Wizards is...
Yeah, they're sort of behind it, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that might be the next video, or who knows, maybe something completely different. So in the meantime, take care, everyone, and thanks again for watching.